why is there so-called competition between a Jana Gana Man and Vande Mataram again and again?
I think if you just look at the history of Vande Mataram, I would speak also as a poet, as a practicing poet and political scientist. I think it is also, a kind of unfortunate situation that, on the eve of the 150th celebration of a song, of a poem, which actually speaks of not narrow nationalism, but it speaks of the larger humanity, that it speaks of what Gandhi said, a rare beauty, and also the purest spirit of patriotism, quote Gandhi. So I think if you look at in the Gandhian spirit, Vande Mataram, any debate, any controversy on Vande Mataram is unfortunate. I think Vande Mataram, compared to if you look at in a formal, see, we have a national anthem covered under National Honors Act. But if you look at, Vande Mataram, the history, it's a non-ideological poem which acquired, the character of a decolonial struggle, anti-imperialist struggle, united India, and also it speaks of the larger truth of our civilizational unity, cohesion. So I think, it's really unfortunate, and this is really time on this 150th anniversary of Vande Mataram. We must correct the historical wrong. We must bring back full spirit of the Vande Mataram. This is what I would suggest. This is time not to just honor Vande Mataram formally, but make it a part of also, in terms of what we call in political theory, interfaith dialogue. This
Okay.
is time when Vande Mataram can contribute to social peace, harmony, and tolerance. So, on the lighter note, why there is intolerance over Vande Mataram?
Okay, we'll come to that. Is there intolerance over Vande Mataram? Let me play out some bites from the leaders who are part of the opposition, Sandeep Dikshit and Omar Abdullah.
तो 35, 36, 37, 37 में बल्कि नेहरू जी और सुभाष चंद्र बोस, पता नहीं बोस, नेताजी बोस का क्यों नहीं नाम लेते हैं। नेताजी बोस ने दोनों ने मिलके ये कहा कि हम क्या पूरी कविता गाएं, और इसलिए जब ये पत्र लिखा गया रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को कि भाई इसमें से कौन से स्टैंजा हम रखें, कौन से नहीं रखें, उसमें पंडित नेहरू और नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस दोनों की शिरकत थी। नेताजी का नाम क्यों भूल जाते हैं? क्योंकि नेताजी को भी ये सांप्रदायिक दिखाना चाहते हैं ना। ये चाहते, इनको तो ऐसा लगता है कि हो सकता है आरएसएस के ही रहे हो नेताजी, तो इनकी हिम्मत नहीं सच बोलने की। इन दोनों नेताओं ने कहा तब रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी ने, और रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर में आप इस तरीके का कोई सवाल नहीं उठा सकते कि वो सांप्रदायिक थे या वो अपीजमेंट वाले थे। उन्होंने सजेस्ट किया कि ये पहले 2 या 3 स्टैंजाज जो हैं वो अपने में ही बहुत मां भारती की वंदना करते हैं, वो पर्याप्त है। और एक चीज याद रखिएगा, कोई भी गीत जिसको राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर या किसी अधिवेशन में गाया जाता है 10-10, 5-5, 8-8 मिनट नहीं गा सकते।
ये फैसले इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट पे छोड़े जाने चाहिए। तालीम की वजीर हैं, वो ये फैसला ले सकती हैं। हमारे कामकाज में किसी को दखल नहीं देना चाहिए।
Okay, so that was a diplomatic answer by Omar Abdullah. I am also joined by Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson BJP, Sujata Paul, spokesperson Congress. Thank you both of you. Let me take one more question from Professor Ashwani Kumar, and then we start this debate and conversation. And Professor, you stay with me. So you said that there is an intolerance when it comes to Vande Mataram. My question is slightly different. It's about Vande Mataram is also about imagination of the country as a motherland. Do you think it still continues to be contested?
You want me to respond to that?
Yes.
Yeah, this is why my larger worry, and there is no contestation, I guess. When you speak of Vande Mataram, you just look at, the very historiography of our patriotism. I'm making a difference between narrow nationalism of a European variety and a civilizational concept of Indian patriotism, which is a much larger, idea compared to the European idea. In that sense, Vande Mataram is much more than just, a song. It also captures the spirit of a civilization, a robust, vibrant civilization, and an inclusive civilization. If you just go through, even if you look at, and I'm coming back to a straight point, the idea of Ma Kali, the idea of Ma Durga, the idea of Ma Kali Durga, if you just look at, the works done on revolutionaries, including Anushil Samiti, nationalists of various kinds, they look at Kali and Durga, perhaps, in a Sufi scent of larger humanity, the mother here, the mother when becomes, not a deity in the formal sense of a religious prescription. In that sense, Vande Mataram triggers that national awakening in terms of the civilizational unity, cohesion, and peace in the subcontinent. So it's certainly, as a poet, I would say that if you start reacting to a poem which speaks of also bliss, just read. I mean, like those who are saying that, why first stanza, second stanza. I think what we call this is a editorial view. Sorry, I mean, like I'm speaking to a very prominent editor, I think this editorialization of Vande Mataram is not a good idea. Capture the spirit of Vande Mataram in full. In that sense, Vande Mataram is synonymous as Gandhi. Nehru also believed in that, I mean, like Nehru also was hobbled and concerned about, rise of communalism. And that's a different story altogether. So we should not confuse it or fuse Vande Mataram with communalism of a certain kind. In fact, I would look at Vande Mataram and spread Vande Mataram as a form of inter-ethnic or faith dialogue, a dialogue that keeps India going, a conversation between people, That's
Okay.
something I would like to highlight.
Okay, okay. So let me straight away go to Siddharth. You stay with me, Siddharth Yadav and Sujata Paul. Siddharth, 150 years of Vande Mataram, and it has actually spawned a war of word between your party and Congress. Your opening comments, sir.
No, Kartikeji, good evening to you and good evening to all your viewers. I don't think that there should be any controversy around it. What is history, and what is history is available to all of us. And I think when we quote something from the history, it is the right of all Indians to know what really happened. Vande Mataram was one clarion call, which was, with a slogan which echoed in India for all freedom fighters, upon which, singing which people lost their lives for the independence of our country. When it was being adopted as the national song of our country, why was one ideology or one person or one family or one sect in a party so adamant on their policy of appeasement that they chose to only take half of it as the national song? Is the question we ask today. And why should we not ask that question? We are celebrating the 150th year of Vande Mataram, and such a, in the history of our country, such appeasement happened that even the song which motivated crores, lakhs and crores of Indians to fight for their independence was, nitpicked because of a policy of appeasement. The questions have to be asked. It is out in open that who did so. It is out in open why, what was the pressure. And just for your viewers, in October 1938, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the one ideologue, the one person, the one ideology which divided India on religious lines, had objected to Vande Mataram and had objected to the entirety of Vande Mataram. Based on those objections and to come down to the policy of appeasement, Jawaharlal Nehru chose that we will be keeping only the first two paragraphs.